Yep. Reviewing the tape, just again give a lot of credit to Alabama. They beat us soundly in all three phases. I think the biggest thing for our guys is just simplifying, getting their confidence back where they can go play fast. We played very fast. When I watched the tape, not just sure of ourselves and attacking. I think the best way for us to get that back is to simplify. But did we watch the tape, make the corrections, move on? Another tough SEC opponent on the road at 11 o'clock. Very good defensively. Turn the tape on. Very good front seven. I mean, really attacking, very strong. They're top 10 defenses in the country. Offensively, they're going to run the ball. They're going to attack us and play action. Do a lot of speed sweep motion to take your eyes, mess with your safety fits. But two very good running backs, good offensive line, and then two good receivers that they can stretch the field with. So huge challenge for us, but 8 opportunities left. Excited to get back to work and get started.
Matt, is it harder to recuperate physically after you play Alabama more so than other teams?
I think any time that you play an SEC game, that there's going to be some physical toll, but overall came out pretty healthy. Was very pleased with Sean Rawlings. There's very few guys that could have played, but very impressed with him. But he is sore, so he'll probably be limited on Tuesday, then practice Wednesday. Dawson Knox, same thing. Defensively, Kadir Shepard has a little bit of an ankle injury, maybe limited, but I think he'll play. And then Gary, tightened up. But other than that, we came out pretty healthy. Yeah.
Man, it looked like when we send guys, or especially the backs in motion, they just brought blitz every time. Is that what you saw? And
Yeah.
what,
So on third down, that was some of the pressure in our empty protection, and that they did a nice job with that. And empty, they were able to bring an extra guy one more than we could handle. So they did a nice job with that pressure. Give them credit.
After watching the film, who were a few guys that stood out that really gave a ton of effort there at the end when the chips were down?
Yeah, no, the guy that stands out to me offensively is Jordan Wilkins. Man, he was a warrior on Saturday. He ran hard. He broke tackles. Very pleased with Jordan Wilkins. Defensively, Breland Speaks played really hard. He played inside. He played outside. And he just gave a ton of effort. It was just very. I told those guys yesterday, just after watching the tape, those two guys stood out in my mind. From start to finish, they gave great effort.
You mentioned Alabama blitzing during the empty sets. Was there more to it than that with pass protection? And what's your evaluation of pass protection?
No, I thought and our one-on-one stuff was pretty good. We did have some times where we got beat in some one-on-ones, and but when you're playing a team like Alabama, that's going to happen. Some we got to throw the ball on time and stay ahead of the chain so you can run some shorter routes. But the blitzing, they got us one time on a screen where the linemen were releasing, and we got sacked one time on the screen. And then the empty protection, those are the ones that jumped out at me. But there were a couple of one-on-one situations where, but there's going to be times where you win one-on-ones against Alabama, and they're going to win some too. You gotta try to limit those. But again, staying out of the long yardages where they have a chance to pin their ears back. That's the lesson coming out of that is you don't want to be in third and long very often.
In some of these games, Matt, that have been decided early on, are you concerned about Shea's health at all by leaving him in late in some of these games?
No, I don't think so. I think Shea is a sophomore. We're trying to get him as much experience as possible, and I think he was coming up to me wanting to stay in the game, wanting to compete. But I think him getting as much experience as possible, I think that's important.
Matt, what's the number one point of emphasis for the offense right now? You guys have scored 3 points in the past 6 quarters. So where do the problems start, and what do you guys want to fix?
Well, I think our emphasis is on simplifying and playing fast. I think we're good enough to score points. We just gotta go simplify, know what to do. We're good enough to run the football. We're good enough at receiver to make plays. I think we just got to simplify and go execute. When we get in the red zone, we got to score points. But the big emphasis will be on third down this week. You have to convert on third down and stay on the field. If you're not staying on the field on third down, you're not scoring points. So I think that's a huge emphasis for us is staying on the field, having a great third down plan, and go on and score points, because I think I know we're good enough. We just got to go simplify, play fast, and go get it done.
Looking ahead to Auburn, they're a very stout defensive team. How do you look to find offensive success?
Well, I think every week you're going to play a good defensive opponent, but obviously Auburn presents a lot of challenges. They're very long in the secondary, so that that they can cover your receivers, and they can get pressure on the quarterback. So I think we got to play fast. We got to simplify, where Shea knows exactly where to go with the football. Stay out of long yard situations. It's the same recipe. Play fast, be simple, know exactly what you're doing, and just go attack them. Not play on your heels, but get them on their heels by attacking. I think that's the most important thing that we need to do. I've kind of felt Saturday we were on our heels. We need to be the ones that are attacking. That's why they call it offense. We need to be the ones that are attacking, and that's what we got to get back to this week.
In your opinion, is all the off the field distractions just kind of leaked over to the players, or was it just Bama was that much better, or a little bit of both?
Again, I'm going to give Alabama a lot of credit, and we have to be focused enough and mentally tough enough to keep everything and keep our focus on the football. And I think that's our challenge this week moving forward. Is we have 8 opportunities, and we're going to take advantage of each one, starting with Auburn. And we're going to take 70 guys to Auburn, ready to go play and push in the same direction and fight and compete.
You're talking about simplifying. I know Wesley and Phil have both already talked about that earlier in the season. What exactly does that mean, and how much more simpler can you get on both sides of the ball?
Well, I just think whenever you're struggling, I think the more you can eliminate where guys can just focus. I think that's what that means. You take some stuff out where you can just focus and you get better, and you rep the same thing against every single look you could possibly get. And I think the more that you simplify, the faster the kids will play, and the more that they will understand what's going on, and they can problem solve on the field. If you have it in the best schemes in the world, it doesn't matter. It's not about what the coaches know. It's about what the kids can execute on the field, and execute it not only versus their base but versus their pressure. And so I think we have talented kids, but we also have young kids, and I think they have to know exactly what to do so they can go play fast and compete. So that answer your question.
What learning experiences are you going to take from this game against Alabama?
I think the biggest thing that getting across to the team is what we are right now is we're 2-2. We're no better, we're no worse. We're 2-2, and I think when you play Alabama, it shows them, hey, this is how far we have to go. And I think it's we got to make sure that they got to keep their confidence. I think that was the biggest thing. We got to go back, simplify. We got to go back to work, and that's the only way to get the bad taste out of your mouth is get back on the practice field and go to work. And so I think, but the good thing is that college football, man, it's so week to week. I mean, it is week to week. You got a chance every week to go compete and get better, and that's going to start this Saturday at Auburn.
Did you feel like they responded that way yesterday?
I do. This, throughout, my tenure here, we've had a lot of gut punches, a lot of tough losses when we've always responded and we've always bounced back, and they will again.
What's your evaluation of Jarrett Stidham?
You know what? He seems obviously the last 2 weeks to be getting more and more comfortable in the offense, and what's impressed me is he'll stand in the pocket and throw it. He's not in a hurry to get out of there. He is very accurate, and that makes him dangerous because of how well they run the football. He's good enough to get at their receivers off play action, but very impressed with him. But impressed with him the most about standing in the pocket.